Okay, now that we got the fuel filter and fuel line, hard line, installed, it's time to now go ahead and take the fuel tank, put it inside the car. Or should I say, under the car. I'm thinking that we're going to have to modify the floor to make this thing work due to the fact that those fittings are going to be sticking up way too high and it's not going to fucking work properly. Let's get Minnie the body shop girl over here to help us get this bitch up into the car so we can see how we need to modify the floor. Get this tank over there and try to get it in there. This thing's heavy. I don't know why. This thing weighs about 150 pounds. Feel that.
I know.
Feel it. Go ahead and see how heavy it is.
Let's just fucking get it done. I know how heavy it is. I'm sure you've told him a dozen fucking times, at least, if not more.
Whatever.
Let's just get it in there. I'm busy doing other work,
yeah, I
man.
know. You're a busy person, like I'm not. Up. Can you reach up under there and get that chrome thing, that metal thing? No.
Unhook it?
No, that thing for my camera, that wedge.
You said that chrome thing.
No, I didn't. I said metal. Get that thing for my camera. It's under the car there.
Fucker, man.
Where's it at?
In the very middle of the fucking car.
Alright, bring it over here. Damn it.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Grab this. Put the jack under there. Come on.
Got the jack that actually rolls.
Well, go get the jack that rolls then. It's on the middle bay. You know, most of these gas tanks, you don't have to use a floor jack to put it in. It doesn't weigh 900 pounds. That jack out of the way. Roll it in here. Easy. Alright, come on. A little more. Hold it. Jack it up. Motherfucker. Dang it. Push it up. Push it up. Hold the jack, Minnie.
I got it.
Well, pull it your way. The jack. How are we looking over there? Keep going. Hold it. Now jack it up in there.
We're coming up.
You're stuck on this thing here.
Okay, put the tube through there. The tube goes up in there. And pull it your way.
Now, let it go up a little bit more.
Hold it right there. Let it down a little. Just a hair. Alright, hold it. Now put it where it's supposed to go in there while I'm holding the tank. Okay, we got the tank in place where it's supposed to be at, but what we got is a situation. If we look at the tank right here on the front side, which would be facing toward the front of the car, we're seeing that the tank does not, does not touch the floor, which would be the frame rail for the floor. And we also see that the fittings are being jammed up in there. Now we're talking approximately a ½ inch or less. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to measure this out, cut the floor, level it up, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, box it in so our fittings will work properly. Alright, so what we're going to do is in this area right here, there's like a little ridge, you might say, and a little frame structure here. We're going to draw a line right here, and then we'll cut down this line here and this line, and I think that will give us the opportunity to go ahead and box this in like we need it to be, and to get our lines in there where our tank will go up. So if Minnie can go ahead and let the jack down, we'll get this out of here.
Here it comes down.
Slowly. Pull it.
I can't.
Okay, hold on. Where the fuck is Darren at?
Out the trash.
Alright, let it down. Let it down all the way. Alright, pull it out. That's alright. Okay. Now that we're looking at the floor, there's a line right here. That's where I drew the line, but the fuel lines are way back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a line right here. I'm going to come down here. I'll come down here approximately 4 to 6 inches, just like that. And then I'm going to push that up in there. Once I push that up in there, I'll be able to make a box section. It'll look like a ramp inside the trunk. You see what I'm saying? It's like a ramp. It'll be from nothing to something, and then I'll box that area in. So when we jack our tank back up into the car, what we'll see right here is our lines will be able to clear the floor, and then we should be able to look at the floor as an optical illusion that it still looks the same. Instead of actually cutting it out like this and raising the whole thing up, we're just going to cut 3-sided box, bend it up, fit that in there to where we need to get it. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my plasma cutter and I'm just going to cut a nice 3-sided box right here where I marked it. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and push that up, just like that. And it will give us the clearance we need. Do you see what I'm saying? When we put our tank back up in here, we'll be able to have clearance to get to our two lines coming out, and it will clear the floor so it will sit on the bottom of the trunk floor itself onto the frame rails just like it's supposed to. Now what I'll do is I'll go back up inside. Once I put the tank in there, I'll go ahead and calculate how far this little piece right here has to come up or down, and then I'll show you how to finish it out. Here you go. Watch the plasma cutter line. Slide it in here, slide it in here. Okay, hold it right there. Okay, now, slide it. Just got to come in my way more.
I can't show you.
Okay, hold it, it's going to fall off of here. You're going to have to push the jack in. There you go. Okay, now jack it up. And then get lined up where it goes.
In. Okay, now.
Push it all the way. There you go. You got it?
It's butted up against there. Go towards the front of the car.
All right, well, you're going to have to let it down a little. All right, hold it.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Well, hold it.
Okay, now it can be towards me.
Okay, it should go right there just like
Yeah,
that.
but it's to the left, to the driver's side too much, about half an inch too much.
Okay, then. I got it. How about right there? It's got to go in a little.
There, about like that.
Okay, jack it up tight. Okay, hold it right there. Okay, so now we got the tank installed, where we can go ahead and figure out where we need to calculate these lines to be up inside here to fit the tank properly like you see it fitting. Once we get it fit in, we'll take our straps and strap it down and it'll stay in there. Okay, so now if we look at the floor, I'm going to go ahead and bend that up. You can see what we're talking about here. It's not a good situation as we're looking, because even at this angle, we can see that the lines, putting those lines on there, will run into this. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to actually lift that up, bend it over, and then when we bend this back down, we'll have to make a type of a situation there. So yeah. This is a hokey pokey fucking deal here. I don't like this. This is like, what the fuck is going on situation. I think that the tank was designed poorly, and for $1,400 it should have been designed a lot better than this. But this is what you run into when you're doing this custom fucking work. So now that we got the tank into the car where it goes, we'll go ahead and figure out how we're going to finish this out. And it's fucked up. That's what it is, right there. It's a situation that says even when you're paying boutique prices for parts and supplies to build your car, you're still getting the golden finger in your asshole. I would say that this little action right here is fucked. It's fucked up, but we're gonna take care of it and get it to where it'll work. I don't like that. You can see how high it is, and it's bullshit. You spend all that fucking money to build a car such as this and do what we're doing, and you run into fucking accusational problems such as this right here. I'll go ahead and bend that side up as well. We'll probably have to cover that hole, weld it up, but it's a fucked up situation that says, you know what, the finger keeps talking to us, and the finger reminds us that the world isn't perfect, and neither is this fucking cocksucker gas tank.
Dr. Dildo is in the house, and I must say, Ooh, we will be using our gloves. Surgery is a very, very technical situation, you might say, when it comes to brain power. Yes. Oh, golly, there we go. Okay. How's everybody doing out there? This is Dr. Dildo, and we're going to talk about brains today, because using your brain can be a very, very good thing to do in situations. Oh, God. There we go, right there. We'll hold that one for a second just to say yes. We're going to go ahead and talk about the brain power of what it takes to really analyze the situation. Oh, God, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yes, to analyze the situation to make it work and function properly. Oh, my Lord, it's just one of those days that says, the lens is dirty. I got a little spot on here. Let me clean that off. There. So as we seek the situations and the answers that it takes to get to the left and over to the right and back and forth and in and out of the situation to find the solutions, you've got to use your brain. Sometimes it's better to just say, walk away from it and do that one time or another. I have a friend that stopped by. His name's Bag of Bones. How'd you like to say hi there, buddy? How y'all doing? There you go. And he went ahead and said that we could go ahead and unlock his brain and open it to find the answers that it will take to fix the car properly. Just like that is what I'm trying to say right there, yes. So if we unlock the brain of the human being that has the answers, we find a bunch of the fittings that might be used for certain angles of the situation to fix the situation properly and dysfunctionally tear it down and dismantle it to say, ooh. So we look inside Mr. Bag of Bones' brain skull and we see that his mind is full of fittings. It's full of different style brass fittings. And what do we have right here? We have angled fittings. We have A&N fittings. And we have this fitting right here. Let's take this subject here and talk about this fitting. So in reality, as we look at the gas fuel tank, the situation should have been where we use a fitting such as this, which is low profile, and then once it is screwed in, it would sit down lower to the tank formation, where we can take our fuel line, which would be an AN fitting style like this, and then we would screw that on, and the fuel line would go out and down. That's how it should have worked. But the problem that we have is the space and area that was cut out in the tank at the factory, which I might go ahead and do this to, has diabolically not put the right fuel pump in, because when you take two of these fittings and you stick them side by side and you try to turn them, they will not turn properly and they hit each other and will not, I say not, tighten up properly to work like it's supposed to. Okay. Oh, God. Don't do that. Oh, Lord. Okay. Hello. All right. What my friend Pete had to do to accomplish the situation where the fuel would go out of the tank and then back in as a return line, he had to use a fitting such as this. He had to use an adapter fitting that would screw into the fuel pump, and then an AN fitting such as this, except a 90-degree angle fitting. I don't have an 90-degree angle fitting to show you what I'm talking about, because Bag of Bones didn't bring one when he said I could use his fucking brain. So we will use this fitting here as a subject to say this had to be screwed into the tank. This would go on top of that, which would raise. Do you see what I'm doing here? It would raise the fitting up higher than normal, which would cause the situation of our line fitting to be too high and would have to modify the floor to work properly. I'm sorry. Ooh, yes. So what do we do in a situation like this, Dr. Dildo? What do we do? I can tell you many things that you can do, and there's one thing you can do. You can go ahead and get out your Bible of cursing, your creative cursing Bible. And as we look at our creative cursing Bible, we open it up and we see that it is a magical display of words that might go ahead and release. It might release the tension that is built up inside of you. I will go ahead and read a few of those to you as we go ahead and match words. It's a matching game today. How about a douche biter? No, we couldn't call it that. A retard lip. Is it a retard lip? It could be that case because this is the lip of the fitting that is fucking us up with the lip of the metal. Do you see how convenient and accurate the book of cursing creations can be for you? Okay. Enough of that, and this is Dr. Dildo, and the questions are answers that say fittings will be fittings as long as the fitting fits in the right hole and everything screws together and works is basically what we're talking about here. You take yourself and be the person you got to be to diabolically, destructively, and mortificially get the problem solved by doing what you have to do to make it right. Once again, this is Dr. Dildo with Mr. Bag of Bones, brain full of nuts and bolts, telling you, do what you gotta do and be the guy that you got to be to say, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can. I gotta go, the phone's ringing. Yeah. It's probably a patient that needs a little bit of dildoing, and I'm the guy that's gonna do Oh my God, it's just, it's a situation. Yes, I know it is. I'm sorry, I was talking to myself. Oh God, oh yes.
All right. I devised another plan up that I'm gonna take on this situation, and what we're gonna do is follow my lead, and I'll show you. It actually is gonna work out better for everybody in the long run. I don't want to let the surprise out, but I've already drawn it up on the plasma cutter, ready to bend, mold, and create. So let's go ahead and get this done as far as cutting it out. Then I'll explain to you what I'm going to do. Now, I am doing this with nothing but hand tools here, because that's how my friend Pete is. If I'm going to show you how to do something and you're a DIY guy at home doing it, you don't have any tools, and all you have is hand tools like my friend Pete. The only thing that I'm going to use different that you will probably not use is a plasma cutter to cut the steel. You can use cutting wheels, grinders, and saws, this, that, and the other to do this. But what you see me do is real live action of how we are going to make this, and the way that you can do it at home as well. Because we are not a corporation. We do not have small business loans to go buy millions of dollars of tools to do stuff that you don't fucking need the tool for. Hold that, there you go. All right. Thank you. What we got here, if you look at that, you can see that that is starting to look like a creation to make a box. Now, I don't have a band or any type of tool to bend that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the edge of my table here, and I think that'll all work. Yes, it will. So what we're going to do is start bending this using some C-clamps. We're going to use a piece of angle iron, and we're going to make a box to box our fuel tank in. I'm going to show you what we're doing. I went ahead and changed the plan up, and when you see what I'm going to do, I think you're going to like it a lot better. It's not going to be a perfect box. It's not going to be a box that says, hey, I paid $1 million fucking to have a box fucking made. It's not going to be that box, okay? But it's going to be a box that's going to do the fucking job, and you're going to be able to say, hey, that was a good fucking idea. I'm glad my friend Pete did my fucking car for me that way. Kind of box is what kind of box we're fucking making. What?
Why you gotta act like that?
Because I'm tired of everybody thinking it's a perfect fucking world out here. It's not.
Nobody thinks it's a
Okay, well, I'm getting it done.
Nobody thinks that. Nobody says that. Nobody cares.
Yeah, people do care.
Well,
I don't want somebody coming in and saying, oh, that box isn't perfectly square. Oh my God. It doesn't look right. Are you understanding now? We're doing this at home with hand tools. We don't have $1 million to buy brakes and bands and power hydraulic bullshit. Who the fuck's screaming? I'm just telling it like it is. If you don't like it, do what the fuck you're doing over there so I can get to work.
oh, you didn't say go home.
Well, you can't go home today. No, we ain't going home.
Go home.
No, we're not going home. We got a car to paint.
I want to go home.
We got a car to paint. Let's get her done. All right. Let me get the tools I need. I'll be back to show you how to do this in your garage at home without the big guy telling you you're a fuckface. Again. What? You know how people are. You go to a car show and you got one little flaw in it and all of a sudden it attracts attention like fucking flies to shit, okay? It's a joke. Fucking joke. The only reason they bitch is because they can't do it and they ain't got it, bitch. All right, now that we got all the tools we need to make our situation here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this with minimal tools and the wife off of your ass, because we don't need that. We definitely don't need the wife on your ass while you're working at home in your garage on your hobby, not hers. Plain and simple. And let's just go ahead and get it made. Watch, listen, and learn. And you're going to see how easy this is without all these big, high-tech, expensive fucking tools. Now, what we're using here to go over the tools, we got a piece of angle iron, whether it's used or brand new, okay? We have 2 C-clamps right here. You can see those. A hammer, we need one of those. And then, of course, on the edge here, we got a nice sharp edge on our table. So, what I did is I went ahead and marked all of our marks out. You can see them as I'm looking at them right here with a magic marker, and that is where our bends are going to be. Now, I came up with a 7 by 16 box, okay? I added 2 inches on each side, which would be 4, and then another inch for a lip, which would be 6. I went ahead and cut this down to 3 inches, this 3 inches, by separating 2 inches and 1 inch, and then I did the same thing on both ends. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this to make our box, and then I'll bend these the opposite way, which will be our lips, to actually mount into our trunk. You still don't know what the fuck's going on. I understand that. Just stick with me here, and you'll see how all this is going to work. And what we're going to do is we are going to turn this upside down. Now, once we bend this piece here over, all right, we're going to need this piece to come out. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go ahead and bend our 1 inch lines first to get those out of the way. And I'm going to turn my piece of metal upside down where the line is, and then I'll look right here, just like this, underneath, lining the line up where I need it to be. I'm going to take my angle iron, I'm going to put it right on the edge of the table, just like this. I'm going to get my C-clamps ready for bending. We've got to get our C-clamps inside. Okay, I went ahead and had that backwards. What we're going to do is we're going to put our angle iron like that. Okay, and then we're going to come down here. Remember that 1-inch line I was showing you that I drew? I'm going to line that up with the bottom of my table here, where I want it. And I can't see the fucking line. So, I can't see the fucking line I drew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some bright yellow tape on the lines that I need so I can see what the fuck's going on. So what I got here, I got some yellow tape. This is, what is that, 1-inch tape. I'm going to go ahead and go down each line where I'm going to bend it. And that'll give me an angle of seeing what the fuck is going on. And once again, I'm going to be honest with you, this is not going to be flawlessly perfect like it was made in a machine shop where you paid $300 to have it done. This is home body fucking work ethic here. And I will tell you this, when we get it done and the product, the finished product is there to look at, you're going to say, you know what, my friend Pete's right, that's all I fucking need. So basically, now that I got my tape on here, what I can do is use my tape marks to find my 1-inch angle that I need. As you see, I rolled that tape around the edges right here. Can you see that? Let me get the camera and show you. So now, instead of getting under the table, what we can do is we can just move our tape, because you can see that I rolled the tape around the edges, and I'll go ahead and line that up where I want it. And then we're ready to take our angle iron and set it down right on the edge of that. And I'm going to go ahead, since this is 20 gauge steel, I'm going to go ahead and use vice grips on this instead of C-clamps. If you don't have any vice grips, go to the C-clamp method, and that will work great for you. But if you got vice grips, you're better doing it this way right here. Once again, we're going to make sure everything's lined up. Take our vice grips, clamp it down just like this. And now we're ready to go ahead and take our hammer, like you see right here, start bending that lip over. Once we're done, we're going to remove our clamp, just like so. Getting all that out of the way. And then we're going to take our lip on our metal surface and then, as you can see, we got a nice sharp edge that's going to work out very well. Now we are in the process of making our box. I'm going to go ahead and bend that lip, but you know what? I want to see what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and do this lip first. We're going to go ahead and get all the lips out of the way and do that. Hello! I'm making a fucking video over here.
Sorry, we're talking.
So I'll go ahead and bend all my lips before I do anything without any interruption, hopefully. And we'll get that done. Okay, now that those sides are done, we very well can't bend it like this because it'll bend. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and bend these lines to start making our box. And then this one here, we're just going to line the marker line up to the edge of the table, or whatever you're using, just like that. All right, can you see that right there? And then once that's done, use our clamps here. And now I got this clamp down, so I'll take my hammer and start making my box, just like you see me doing right here. We start bending like that as well, doing whatever we got to do to get our box made. So now we've ran into a problem that says, what are we gonna fucking do here, my friend Pete? Well, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to get all this fucking made properly. So what we're gonna do now that we ran into a situation that says, you know what, I'm fucked here, because if I go to bend that, what's gonna happen? Bam, bam, it's not gonna work. I got my piece of angle iron in my vise. I'm gonna take my box that I'm making. I'm going to flip that around just like that. I'm going to take another piece of angle iron just like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and clamp that down just like before, repeating my process. Because once again, we're only working with 20 gauge steel here. We'll start bending it by hand just like that. Okay, there's a hand brake for you. Okay, there's a hand brake for you. Okay, there's a hand brake for you. I would call that a hand brake. That's a bona fide, authentic, 100% original handbrake that you just saw right there. And then, keeping my hammer close to the edge, since we got our vise already set up, we're just going to go ahead and keep working with the vise action as we bring this in like that. Hold it right there. You don't need to move it, I got it. And then we're going to repeat our process on the end of our box. Okay, we went ahead and went with a different angle on this instead of making a flapper and then welding it in. What we did is we went ahead and made a box. What you just witnessed was basically making a box in your garage at home. Now, what we're going to do with this box is we are going to mount that into our vehicle just like this. Okay, so I got to do some trimming around there because I want that lip to go up into the rolled area. Now, the reason we're doing a box like that is because we are not going to weld that box onto the floor. What we are going to do is we are going to screw it down to the floor and we are going to seal it up. Now, the reason we're going to do that is because it will be a real pain in the ass if the owner has to change the fuel pump out. And what this is doing is serving two, you might say two services, two whammies with one fucking bat. And when I say that, it's going to give us clearance for our fuel lines, and it's also going to make easy access to our electric fuel pump, removing that, accessing our fuel pump and our fuel lines right there, and going to be very, very efficient, as in taking care of the problem at hand. So, we're almost done with this project. You know, this is what you call modification situation. This is what you call, I am trying to put a high performance engine in my car and I need all this other shit to make it work. This just happens to be one of them. So, let me get this box finished out. I got to trim this area here so it sits up flush. So I'll roll that and then that'll bring that box up to there where I need it. Alright, you see what I'm saying? And then we'll be able to bend this into the situation there. And I think when we're done, after we weld our box together and get it all situated around, it's going to work very, very nicely and very well, and save us a lot of fucking headaches. Hopefully, be done mounting our gas tank in our fucking car. Hopefully. What a fucking bitch.
Oh God, oh yes.
Okay, we got our little box built. It's a home job box. It's a box that says it's gonna fucking work box. And we did it with our little hand tool situation job. Let's look at our box, see what the fuck's going on as we work on our 1966 Chevelle. All right, we got our box made. It's a nice box. It's a box that says it's going to work box. We redesigned the box. We were going to go ahead and actually mount the whole box to the floor of the car, but then we realized that the tank is sitting so close to the floor that by putting screws into the floor itself will not really be a functional situation, because they will probably hit the tank and eventually put a hole in the tank, so we're not doing that. What we are doing though is we made our box, and now what we can do is open it with the piano hinge, just like you see me do right there, and access our fuel pump and fuel lines. Now what this is going to do, this is going to create a situation that says I can get inside my tank to change out the fuel pump if need be, without removing the tank at all. The tank weighs about 100 pounds. I don't know why he got a stainless steel tank, but he got the stainless steel tank, and it's very fucking heavy. I would not put that tank in my car, especially if you're building a car that you're trying to save on weight. All right, I think it's a waste of time, but that's what he got. That's what he's going to use. So you can see that the box is a utility box. It works great. And now what we can do is we can close the lid and possibly put a couple screws on the end here to hold it shut. And we can also put possibly a rubber gasket or some type of seal along the edge to seal it up so it won't get air or debris inside the tank. But by cutting our hole out like you see right here, that's going to give us a lot more access for our fuel lines to ride properly and to be more functional instead of being very tight and quarterized inside the little hole that we started with. Now what I'm going to do as far as mounting this box on here, you can see that I went ahead and I drilled some spot welds on it right here, spot weld holes, and we're going to spot weld that right to the trunk floor, just like it would look like a factory box. Is it a perfect box? No. Alright, this is not a perfect box. Does the door work? Yes. Does the box work? Yes. Is it a functional box? Yes, it is a functional box, but it is not a flawless, perfect box. Once we go ahead and seam seal that, we paint it black, it's gonna look like a fucking box that we just fucking made, and a box that says, guess what? I have a box in my fucking trunk. Did you hear that? Minnie?
Yeah.
So, there's your box. The box works, and he didn't pay $1 million fucking dollars over at some metal fabrication shop that wants to fuck you in your ass while they're making you a box. Box. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
Fucking wrong.
Once you put in your...
Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Minnie's got an opinion. Let's get her opinion here. What? Hold on a minute. Okay, all right. I can't see. Can you squeeze around the car? Okay, there you go. Now, what were you saying?
Once you put the upholstery in there, it'll look like it was...
Actually, once you put undercoating on it and paint it, it'll look like a fucking box.
Like it's always been there.
It's a box!
Yeah.
That's all we need is a fucking box. So, if you need to make a box to install your fuel tank, to make your LS2 fuel injection motor run, do it my friend Pete style, and don't waste your fucking money on something that you can do yourself. Let's get this bitch welded in there, and let's get this fucking job done. This has been an all-day fucking job making a box, okay, so he can access his fuel pump without removing the gas tank. Fuck, why is my cord way the fuck over there? Our box is done. All we got to do is clean it up. Do a little bit of seam sealing on it. Paint it black. And it'll be working properly, functionally, and be an awesome little box to access our fuel pump in case our fuel pump goes bad. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, showing you, telling you that if you watch, listen, and learn, you will fucking learn. And that's all there is about it. We're going to go ahead and mount our fuel tank in. We'll run our fuel lines to the fuel pump, and then from there, we're ready to go ahead and start installing the motor in our 1966 Chevelle LS2 fuel injection conversion automobile that we are calling a hot rod today. It's not a perfect box. It's not a good looking box. But it's a box that fucking works. Box. Bitch. Motherfucker. Look at that. Great. Fucking box. Alright, so it's several months later and we got the box made. You saw that. The box came out beautiful. It was a situation that we used our imagination and we also used our brain power to get it done. Dr. Dildo explained to us that using your brain is a good thing, not a bad thing, which, you know, is an obvious situation to find the solutions for the problems. And what we did is came up with something. We devised a plan. We took that plan, we made it into reality, and it all worked out. We got the fuel tank installed back into the car, which you can see right here. We had a little bit of problem with the aftermarket straps. The straps really didn't work properly like they were supposed to, but then again, we're talking aftermarket. And then I went ahead and seam sealed the box up to make sure that it had an airtight seal all the way around it. I don't know if I showed you this. What I did is I used a piano hinge. I went to my local hardware store. I bought a piano hinge for several dollars and then cut it to fit. I made a top for the box, so when you open the box up, it's an easy access situation to the fuel pump itself. If the owner of this car ever wants to change the fuel pump out, he will never have to remove that big old horrendously heavy fuel tank out of the car to do so. If he has any type of electrical problems or fuel sending unit problems, he can access it right here at the box that my friend Pete designed and made for him to make it an easy situation that says, I can fuck with it easy now and I don't have to say fuck off. So there you go. That's the box. That's the situation. We have already installed the motor into this car. This is actually several months later, like I said before. We don't want to get into that. I don't want to show you any of that because that's in upcoming videos of the vehicle itself. But once again, use your brain, use your mind. If you get frustrated with it, if you get anxiety attacks and pissed off and angry, walk away from it. Think about it. You know, take a couple days off. Take a week off if you have to. It's not a thing that says, you know, I'm gonna die over it. It's just a thing that happens, like everything else in life that happens. So we got this problem solved. Hopefully the problems that you run into will be solved by using your brain, taking your time, and figuring it out. We'll see you later.
Just like that is what I'm trying to say right there. Yes. Oh my God. It's just it's a situation. Yes, I know it is. I'm sorry. I was talking to myself.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.